right, we just did our first event. Now we want to do our first action, where when we press that W key, we want our spaceship to start moving forward. All right, so look what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to event sheet, boop, and I'm going to say right here, add action. So if this happens, then this action is going to happen. So I'm going to click add action, and I want this to happen on player 1. I want player 1 to move when I hit the W screen. W, player 1's on this side of the board, W's on that side of the keyboard. I want this to happen. I'm going to hit next, and I've got a bunch of code I could run. I could change its angle, change the way it looks. I could also set my speed right here. Because I added the custom movement behavior, I now have this little library of code to choose from. And I want to set my speed. And I'm going to select it and say next. And then what speed do I want? Well, I'm going to leave it to overall. I'm going to change it to be 100. I want to set my speed to be 100, meaning I'm going 100 pixels per second. We're going to get into what that means, pixels, in a couple more lessons, but 100 pixels per second is how fast I'm going to move. Now, I want to test this thing. How do I test it? Well, you'll notice there's two buttons, Run Layout, and it's a big button right here. You can see the little triangle on it with the black circle, Run Layout. This would run my game. So I could click this one, or I could click this one right here. This is just a smaller version of it. I'm going to click this big one. And when I hit, boop, it's gonna give me an error. I love that an error popped up first. I'm just gonna say okay to it, and it's gonna run. It ran. Sometimes it'll give you an error, sometimes it won't. Now, you have to click in your screen. You have to click in your game. See, I'm clicking right now to recognize a keyboard input inside of my game. And what key did I press? I think I pressed W. Let's test it out. Whoa! I got my ship moving. I can't turn though, but I got it moving. Sweet! Awesome. Very, very cool. Now I want to see that happen again. But my ship is way far away. I need to refresh my screen, and that's this button right here in Chrome, this little reload. If I reload, boop, it goes back. And let's press W again. Awesome. It's moving. Very cool. Now, I don't always have to hit this button. I could just hit F5 if I want to, right at the top of the keyboard. If you don't know where it's at, ask your teacher. F5, and there it goes. It reloaded it. Awesome. So this little bit of code right here, keyboard on W pressed, I'm now doing the action of setting my player's speed to 100. Now, I could set it to be faster, like 1000. Let's try that out. I could edit that. So I just double click this thing to edit it. Let's try that out. Wow! Or I could set it to be slower. I could come in and say, I just want to do 10, and it's going to be so slow, so slow. Yeah, look at how slow that is. That's lame. I found for this game, 100 works pretty good. You can play around with that. This is going to be your game, and customizing this stuff is part of the flexibility you have in the beginning of our Game Gen curriculum. We want you following the lessons. You're going to be able to make your own game someday, but right now it's good to follow the lessons, but you can kind of tweak this. These are things that you don't have to follow exactly. All right, you guys. So again, you went in, you clicked on add action. You went to player 1 because the code for getting him moving is inside of him. You went next. You scroll down to set speed. There it is right there. Now you could have just typed in up here speed and found it right here. You do not want to set speed for animations. Bad. Don't do that. This is not an animation. You want to set speed under custom movement, all right? You want to set your speed there. You come in, you say next, you type in your speed, okay? All right, your code should look something like this. Good luck. Go do it now.